And it was kind of just for fun. I was working as an art director at the time at a fashion company. I started making them for friends and for coworkers, and then people started buying them from me, and I thought, 10 months after I'd made my first candle, maybe I should try and put up an Etsy shop because people are like trying to buy them from me, and it'd be nice to have like a portal. And I thought it was kind of a funny thing. I was like, I don't know who's gonna buy candles online, honestly. You can't smell them, but whoever does, that's awesome. I definitely felt like I wanted to quit many times. For 1 month when I couldn't pay my studio rent, what am I doing? Am I crazy? Who do I think I am? But I just got through it. It's like for every low as an entrepreneur, there's a high. I'm Tamara Mayne, and I'm a designer and entrepreneur. Hello, how's it going? So I have all of these bouquets that I made. I feel like I want more I'll see how many elements I have, but I want to have more of a textural. I have a really big family out in California, and I was going to go visit them for the holidays back in 2012, and I was trying to think of a good gift, everyone would like and use. And so I just decided randomly to buy a candle kit at the local craft store and decided I would try my hand at making candles. And it was a lot harder than I expected. My first batch was terrible. It was a disaster. I got very obsessed with getting it right. People didn't get their Christmas gifts till March, but I was experimenting with different kinds of waxes and reading about different kinds of fragrances, the ingredients, the materials, the different types of wicks I could use, and I experimented with tons of different types of materials until I finally got the formula and the composition that I wanted correct. So at one point, Etsy featured my candles in an email, and I checked my inbox, my orders, and I had 100 orders, and I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna fill these? And then eventually I quit my job. I remember walking into my boss's office when I had decided to do it, and I was just shaking. This is very nerve-wracking to let something like that go and then, walk out into the unknown of entrepreneurship and starting a company, and you don't know what's going to happen, and there are a lot of ups and downs. But I thought I had the confidence. I was like, I know I can do this. I'm really just going to have to pursue it very hard, and I did. There are very kind of distinct steps. First, you wick the vessel. You have to make sure the wick is centered, and so you stick the wick at the bottom of the vessel and make sure it's in the middle, and then mix the fragrance into the wax, and then you pour the wax with fragrance into the candles, pour a batch first, and then secure the wicks, which we do with clothespins, which is kind of an old-fashioned way, but it's proven to be the best method out of everything we've tried for years. And then we just let them cure over the course of several weeks. The fragrance and the wax continue to bind together. Yeah, and then we cut the wicks, clean everything, label them, and then cap them or box them. We decided on sustainable materials. Our whole team is very passionate about that. We try to use as little plastic as possible, be conscious about the choices that we're making. It's of the natural waxes, it's the most cost effective. It burns very cleanly. The wax that we use is relatively easy to work with. The scent throw is not as strong as petroleum-based waxes, but people really like that subtle aspect of our candles. The aspects that I am still, and I think always will be passionate about, are the creative aspects of running a business. That part I have always loved, and that's always kind of been, I've always been that type of person. I really enjoyed working with my hands making the candles. I really enjoyed the meditative process of it, the pouring, mixing the fragrance in, the wicking, and kind of how you have a finished product, relatively quickly. There's a lot of satisfaction in that. Some things that I don't like so much about running a business. I really don't like the legal stuff. I don't like the accounting part. I don't like the HR. I don't like, anything that's pretty much left brain. I could do it, and I had for a long time. Luckily now my husband has joined our team, so he's helping me out with a lot of that stuff. So also my operations manager and my accounts manager and everyone else are taking on the stuff that they enjoy, but I don't enjoy. I started the business as just me, and then suddenly, the orders started coming in. I realized I couldn't handle it all by myself. Yeah, it was me, and then it was 4 of us, and it was 7 of us, and now it's about 12 of us. If I could go back, I think I would have been more selective about who I hired on my team. I've had issues in the past where I just hired quickly and I was being too nice, and even though I didn't feel 100% about certain people, it was really, really nerve-wracking, and I lost a lot of sleep over it. I wish I'd taken more time in my selection process. I think my biggest challenge the past couple of years has been balancing running the business with motherhood. And I think that's been the hardest thing, because I'm the type of person that tends to go all in on anything that I do. And so, the business, I was all in on it before I was pregnant and had my son. And then when I had him, I wanted to be all in on, raising him. And so the business kind of, it was hard to pay attention. So right now it's kind of creating the balance of doing the business and then also being very present raising my son.